Look, the minute someone stresses you out, the internet screams at you to just block them, ghost them, send them straight to the shadow realm. Welcome to this explainer where we're going to expose the viral just cut them off trend for what it really is. We're told constantly that the ultimate form of self-care is severing ties. But what if I told you that this popular advice is actually keeping you completely emotionally stunted? Okay, let's dive into this. It's a little uncomfortable, isn't it? I want you to really think about your own habit of ghosting people or pulling away the absolute second friction happens. Are you actually protecting your peace, or are you just systematically isolating yourself because you haven't developed the psychological tools to handle difficult conversations? Protect your peace, just cut people off. It's literally the mantra of our generation. And honestly, I have to validate why you feel this way. Whether you're dealing with manipulative, toxic friendships, endless workplace stress, or just heavy family drama, it makes sense that you're emotionally tired. You're overwhelmed. When someone repeatedly hurts you, creating distance makes total sense. Your exhaustion is incredibly valid. But here's what nobody tells you. If your only tool for dealing with stress is cutting people out, eventually you're going to be standing in a very empty room. Over time, this constant avoidance doesn't lead to true peace. It leads to total isolation. Psychology actually shows us that humans fundamentally need healthy relationships and connection to survive. You just cannot thrive in a vacuum. What's really interesting about this is how it completely dismantles the way we use the word toxic. Not every conflict means someone is abusive or manipulative. Social media loves to label any difficult person as toxic, but real life is way more complicated. Normal conflict, like occasional tension, misunderstandings, or disagreements, happens even with the absolute most supportive people in your life. Sometimes people just say the wrong thing because they haven't had their morning coffee. And this is where most people get it completely wrong. We think that hitting the block button makes us powerful. But cutting people off isn't power, it's an escape hatch. True psychological power isn't about complete avoidance. It's about holding your ground and using boundaries. If the issue is just occasional tension, cutting someone off is a massive overreaction. You don't need to run away, you need a smarter approach. So let's look at what actually works. Boundaries. Boundaries are simply limits you set to protect your mental and emotional well-being without completely removing people from your life. It's really that simple. It looks like deciding not to respond immediately to messages when you're resting. It looks like refusing to engage in conversations that always turn into arguments. You stay connected, but your mental space is locked down. All right, let's see how this builds with our first concept, managing emotional availability. One of the biggest secret drains on your energy is feeling responsible for everyone else's emotions. If you feel the pressure to always listen, always help, and always solve other people's problems, you're setting yourself up for a crash. Psychologists call this inevitable crash emotional overload. It's that intense psychological exhaustion you feel at the end of the day. It's great to care about people, but psychology tells us it is equally vital to recognize that you absolutely cannot manage everyone's feelings. If you try, you'll burn out for sure. So what do you do when you hit that overload? You use this exact script. I can't talk about this right now. I need some time to focus on myself today. Read that again. This is what protecting your peace actually sounds like. Psychology suggests using this exact phrasing. It doesn't make you selfish. It simply means you're protecting your energy so you can actually function. Let's shift to our next technique, adjusting access levels. And this brilliantly illustrates the fix for a super dangerous habit you need to break right now, treating everyone you meet like they belong in your absolute inner circle. Think of your relationships in 3 tiers. You've got your inner circle with high trust and time, your casual friends with medium access, and acquaintances with low access. You don't have to completely remove someone from your life just because they aren't safe to share everything with. You just demote them. You adjust how much time, trust, and emotional energy you give them. Now for the really heavy-hitting stuff, mastering emotional detachment. This is the psychological concept that will finally make you feel truly in control of your reactions, no matter who is standing in front of you. Emotional detachment means caring about people, but stopping yourself from absorbing every emotion, mood, or opinion around you. It doesn't mean you become a cold robot. It simply means that when your toxic coworker is having a meltdown and is in a terrible mood, their bad mood doesn't automatically become your bad mood. You stop taking everything personally. Here is your rapid-fire playbook for staying calm in real time. Step 1, observe the situation like a scientist. Step 2, don't absorb the emotion. You watch it happen, but you don't internalize it. Step 3, adjust your boundary accordingly. Emotionally healthy people use these 3 exact steps to stay completely calm, even in highly stressful interactions. They observe, they don't internalize. Which brings us to our final massive source of relationship stress, letting go of control. So much of our exhaustion comes from this burning, exhausting desire to change how other people behave, how they understand us, or how they react to us. We want them to fit into our perfect little boxes. But here is the stark psychological truth. People only change when they choose to, period. You cannot control others. Protecting your peace requires accepting that some people will simply never fully meet your expectations. Instead of trying to force them to change, your only job is to accept reality, adjust your own response, and enforce your boundaries. So the crucial point is this. True peace is staying balanced while maintaining connections that matter. It is not hiding from the world in your bedroom. Healthy peace isn't isolation. It's about you being the absolute master of your own emotional domain, knowing exactly when to engage, when to detach, and when to enforce a limit. So, I'll leave you with this. Will you keep running away and isolating yourself every time things get tough? Or are you ready to use these advanced psychological tools to actually master your emotional domain? The choice between isolation and true, powerful peace is entirely up to you.